The golden boy just won a golden globe. Even if his chin is made of glass, he can hold his own. Sleeping on the road, I'm on the phone, that's a mobile home.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Just Another Talk. And on this episode, we have the famous, the infamous, the well-known, and if you don't know, you're going to know now. The person I'm talking about right now, he has 66,000 followers on IG. Over 1,700 impressions and likes on TikTok. Audio Mac has him at over 9,500 plays. And YouTube views tally a whopping 264,419. So, without further ado, Mr. Tye Cooper's in the building.
I love that. That's funny. We're gonna continue to grow and grow into the impressions that we are called to grow in. So I'm just happy and just thankful to be a vessel and to be that express lane to be able to, to deliver that. So here we are.
Yeah.
The Tye Cooper Show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tye Cooper Show on all platforms.
Usually the best show in town when we in town. So that's I'm just half of the show. The show is really a dynamic duo of just the artist and the audience, and combination of both is how we really enjoy the show, because we're all having the experience together. So
yeah,
we on that time.
Yeah,
scientifically we on that time.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
That.
I love it how you talk about the fans. I think it's interesting. I think it shows that you really care. And, we're going to get into a lot of things today. We're going to ask a lot of questions. We're looking forward to figuring out, who is Tye Cooper, right? If I'm watching the podcast for the first time and I don't know who you are, right? What would you say? Who is Tye Cooper?
I would say Tye Cooper is one of those.
Hey.
He's one of those.
Okay.
And one of one. The chosen ones. There was a line I heard earlier while I was at brunch, and I think it was Drake, and he said, one of the chosen ones, flowers don't pick themselves. Yeah.
Okay.
It was one of those.
How do you interpret those words that Drake said? That he's saying, flowers don't pick themselves. What does that mean to you?
When you one of those chosen ones, everything that you seem to pick out is effortless. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's in tune with your choice and your preference. So your specific type of unique portrayal or display is like it shows the people effortlessly. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can pick it apart for what it's worth and find value in it. You know what I'm saying? It's all about like having your own style, having your own way of like expressing yourself. We all have the means to express ourselves. Like, we're all individually, you know what I'm saying, something that can't be copied or duplicated.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I understand that.
Okay.
I wholeheartedly understand that. And I'm even becoming more aware of myself and just the knowledge of self. So Tye Cooper is like, it's one of those. He's aware, enlightened.
That's a good word.
One of God's friends.
One of God's friends.
Yeah.
That's a good line. That's a really good line.
One of God's friends. I believe I'm here to serve a purpose, and in the last 10 years that I've been doing, like, you know, it's been over 10, but like, but the last 10 years, like from the time I was 19 to 29, like, I definitely can say that I have locked in and became more aware of like self.
When do you start? What age do you figure out? Okay, I could do something. I might could put some words together.
I would say it would be like 7 to 8 years old. I remember vividly. I was like, my birthday's in October, so like I was like always the youngest out of the older people. Like people would be like a year or so older than me. Most of my graduating class. So when I graduated, I was like 17. But I remember when I was 7, 8 years old, and B was like 3rd grade.
Okay.
That's when I wanted to become more expressive with the music that I was hearing. My mother.
What year is this?
Yeah, this is like 2001.
Okay.
So this is like Project Pat,
Yeah.
Juicy J. I'm
Yeah,
listening
yeah,
to.
yeah,
I'm listening to
yeah.
Biggie and like Tupac, and but I'm listening to everything my mom was playing at the time. Like my mom's music that she played getting ready for school and then getting into the car, the transition from getting ready for school and not wanting to go to school, but every day there was a song that my mom was playing that was the soundtrack to get ready for school. And then there was a song that was the soundtrack to getting transported to school.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And usually, my mom was like, my mom has very like ranged from like the hip hop, old school hip hop, 80s, and old school R&B from like the 80s and 90s and stuff like that. The Juice soundtrack, I can vividly remember like the Juice soundtrack my mom would play driving me and my brothers and sisters to school had a very big impact on me as a child in my creative expression. So that 2001 year, like that year of 2001, my father had got married, and he didn't have like the ordinary wedding, like, you know what I'm saying, where like you could either just duck off and go to Vegas and get married, or just have like a private wedding, or, you know, have like, it was like as far as a big wedding, it was a traditional big wedding to me. Like, it was like, they went all, like, you know, my dad and my stepmother at the time, like, they went all out.
Yeah.
For, like, for me, at least, as someone that's 7, 8 years old. And, yeah, my dad had like a horse and a carriage. He had like...
Oh, he wasn't playing any games.
He had limos for everybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they real deal, like, they had birds that they were able to release, I believe, at the wedding. Yeah. At the wedding reception.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But what really set the tone was like, I remember my Uncle Ronnie. My Uncle Ronnie was like the best man for the wedding.
Okay.
My Uncle Ronnie got on the mic. It kind of felt like the Best Man movie when that song by Cameo, Candy. It tastes like candy. When they do the electric slide at the wedding. It kind of felt like that, right? But it felt like at first, from what I remember, everybody was kind of like, because there was a lot of, nobody wanted to dance. There was a lot of people there, and nobody wanted to really like dance. So I remember my Uncle Ronnie, he's the kind of person that would like set the tone in a room. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't afraid to be himself. And he got on the mic and he was like, yo, man, everybody, man, get up, man, you know. Get up, you gotta dance, you know. I forgot what he said, but like, I remember out of all the young people, like my generation, like my cousin, out of all my cousins, like I was the only one that was real enough, like
to get up,
and dance.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized, like, I knew how to dance. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really knew how to.
You had rhythm.
Entertain. I had crazy rhythm. Like,
Yeah.
I understood how to do certain like steps and moves at a particular time and when a beat is playing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't matter what beat it is. I always know when to come in, and whether I come in on the 1, whether I come in on the 2, whether I come in on the 3, or whether I come in on the 4. I'm gonna have to come in on one of those those pauses, and like that's when you'll be able to get a familiarity with the creative expression.
Yeah.
So I understood that scientifically.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At 7 to 8 years old. And then in a very nice sharp tux and everything, like I remember just dancing and I forgot what I was doing, who was around me.
Yeah.
I zoned completely out. And next thing I remember seeing was a big ass crowd at my dad's wedding.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Around me.
Yeah.
A big crowd. Everybody.
Yeah.
Fuck everybody dancing. Now everybody's forming a circle around your boy. And I was grooving, dancing. And I wasn't doing no regular dances. Like as some young nigga, like with rhythm.
Yeah.
I just remember doing a James Brown split though.
Oh yeah.
I was doing a James Brown. I was incorporating. When I say I was in, when I say
dance.
When I say a nigga incorporated, a James Brown split interval and a dance fucking routine or just a dance off. I put that on everything I love. Like, and they was loving it so much, because there's so much layers to what I'm saying. They was loving it so much that they started throwing money.
Oh yeah, that's when you know you was in the zone.
They was throwing money. I swear. Whoa. They was throwing money. They was throwing quarters.
Oh.
They was throwing peppermints. I seen mad fucking quarters, peppermints, and I swear it looked like $1,000 on top of me dancing at my dad's wedding.
Wow.
And I remember that day so vividly, and everybody else does, because they remind me every time they see me.
Yeah.
Like,
you still got the moves?
Yeah.
You still got the moves?
Yeah. That shit crazy. Definitely is one great moment in time when I realized that there was something that I had within me that wanted to express through music.
Yeah.
And I never let that feeling go.
Okay.
I feel like ever since I was 8 years old, the year of 2001. I'll never forget that, you know what I'm saying? My grandma Mixon, God rest her soul, she was there, you know what I'm saying? Like
R.I.P. Grandma.
Grandma Mixon, There's so much stories that I have yet to tell about these beautiful people that I call family, and they're all unique in one of those in their own right.
One of one.
They're one of one. Yeah. Like they all have a personality, from my dad to everyone down. The love for the music, the passion, that came from just lots of songs and lots of libraries of music individually that my mom and my dad has played. My dad had he had turntables and he had all that shit where you can really get busy, and he was really like collecting vinyl, and he was going, it looked like, if I remember correctly, he was going to New York, because he even had like a clothing store, and where he was selling like authentic throwback jerseys.
Been the last man standing since my first debate. They unemployed, so they gonna get this work today. Sooner or later.
It sounds like music spoke to you, and you knew at an early age, like, music is my thing. So at what point did you have your first success with music where you could say, like, hold on a second, I can really make some real money?
Well, it didn't necessarily happen as if I would be able to like just make money from it. I think any artist really, really feels like they want to just have the supporters, the subscribers, you know what I'm saying, the genuine engagement and contact. And I've always felt that way. I always felt like, you know, let me just have all the subscribers in the world. And like, you know, but like you really have to be realistic in the approach of like actually wanting to make these connections, these real life connections. And I think when I started believing a lot more than ever was maybe 2012, 2011. You know, there's a lot of things that I've went through that we could even get into. It don't matter. Like, I'm all for it. Like, 'cause there's so much that I'm willing to share that I'm really, really thankful of.
All I ever wanted was everything. Fuck a little bit.
2012 though, I felt like I was more than just a backpack rapper, or you know, I like EDM. I like music that doesn't just reflect hip hop and R&B.
Okay.
So I want to say when Joey Badass, shout out to Joey Badass.
Shout out to Joey Badass.
Joey Badass has a lot to do with my ascension.
Yeah.
And Capital Steez, God rest his soul as well.
R.I.P.
Absolutely. These brothers from Brooklyn, Pro Era, I was just doing my thing out here and meditating and just getting more enlightened and just striving to be more open-minded. And I started getting more placements with things naturally.
Yeah.
You
Things
know
just started falling into place almost.
Things started falling into place, and like it didn't matter if I had a vehicle or if I walked there or trooped it or took the bus or took the train or took a plane. Like it really just revolved around me being the best version of myself in that present time and moment. And there were so many times in this moment that I'm thinking of that was like where I was like forgetting it at times, because moments are continuously fleeting. So like we forget to be in the present moment a lot because we get lost in thinking of like either the past or what's to come.
Yeah.
When really what's to come is right now.
Yeah.
Pristine pictures that once looked like scribbling. When they hate cause you the bigger man, don't belittle them. Get the job
That's
done
where I
when you
was.
finish.
Like I was, you know, comfortably in a place where I was like trying to slowly but surely get out of a comfort level in the comfort zone. And I won this contest to open up for Joey Badass. But ironically, I found out about him when this song of his came on like MTV2, and it just resonated with me so well and so much at that time, where it was like, yo, this is it. Like,
you know
this is the starting point. Like, this is like it. And like when I won it, it wasn't like, oh, like I won. Like it was like, oh, they had to choose the winner too. Like it wasn't like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like when I opened up for Joey Badass, it was like a very big show. And a lot of people that I know was in the crowd. So it kind of helped too with the people that didn't know who I was. And then I was able to perform in front of like a lot of them that didn't even know me, because they were just so happened to be still in front of the stage while I was performing. And it was such a dope response and like connection that I made from just sitting on a fucking stool. Because I remember I intentionally wanted to sit on a stool during my performance. And it was like very commanding, but at the same time, like it felt trustworthy. Like these people can follow me. If I wanted to put my hand in the air, I could see thousands of watts of people and energy to just be willing to translate that same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So that shit really did it for me. Like when I opened up for Joey Badass.
What year was that?
That was 2013.
Game ain't built on sympathy, nor remorseful. There's a thing called freedom of
Shout out
speech,
to
and it's gonna
Lingo.
cost you.
Grindmo Cypher is really where I
Yeah,
really
yeah.
started at.
Yeah.
I really became who I am today. At the time, everybody knows Messy Tye. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And Messy Tye was a 17-year-old young man who has all this great means and like he has the capacity to like live up to putting in the work, you know? And it didn't matter what he was willing to go through. He was willing to put in the work, and he always had a vision. He was still Tye Cooper, but Messy Tye definitely comes from like Messy Maya from New Orleans.
Sounds like there was a metamorphosis in between.
After I graduated high school, that's when I was able to focus solely on, okay, am I gonna go to the community college? Am I gonna go to CCRI? Or am I gonna go to Berkeley School of Music, you know, where I've always wanted to go? Or am I gonna just not, am I gonna go to the Marines?
Yeah, wow.
I'm thinking of the Navy, I'm thinking of the Army, I'm thinking of the National Guard. I'm doing all of this with the intentions in mind to take care of a child. At 17 years old, I was in a situation where this woman that I was dating from the time that we were both in 9th grade to the time that I was a senior at 17 years old, she made it clear that she was having a child. And my senior year, I was under the impression in this, at the time, on and off relationship that I was solely invested in, even if I was being vindictive and harmful as well as I was being harmed as well. I wanted to be in this, like I was saying, this Boy Meets World kind of relationship, like the Black Corey Matthews.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And try to make a connection that was sort of like to my Disney interpretation of what being in high school was like. And, you know, I kind of felt like I did experience that in a weird way, but like it wasn't like, you know, it wasn't that. It was something that was real. This relationship that I was in, it caused me to really go deep within myself. And I ended up having allegedly a child, and I took responsibility of the child.
And you say allegedly? Why? Why allegedly?
Well, I say allegedly because the child isn't my child.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then.
And the child still has my last name.
This what happens when you don't think outside of the box or outside of the blocks, and a casket supports you. Graveyard full of dreams deep in the gravel. Just got my passport and man, I've been meaning to travel. I can hurt you by being humble. I don't need to attack you. Wherever I put my hands on it's gonna impact you. Got jazz on one side, the devil on the other. Made it father for my father, made it better for my mother.
I'm a very big fan of the universe and a big fan of when things so happen to happen. You may or may not be consciously aware of what you may be doing.
Okay.
So you really can't put too much blame on people for the things they do. Like the things that people do, they're gonna do it regardless. But at the same time, it was something that I went through that I really learned so much from, because I really could have thrown in the towel, if that makes sense. I could have really took that on myself as if I did something wrong, but I really didn't. And I hold it down, and I took care of a very sick child. And at the same time, he grew and became a very strong young man. And I'm proud to have been in such an early stage in someone's life that I've learned how to be a parent, to where if I was to be a parent, I would know exactly how to go about being a parent, because I was there already, and I was there in the pocket to like take care of this person at any capacity they needed to be taken care of in. So I'm just not into like, you know, the random like hookups and like the weird shit like I used to be. Like I used to be like trying to like get involved with certain things that wasn't really for me, but like at this point, I'm all about mutual understanding and connection. So it's a great feeling that I went through that, because, you know, that's something that I can like really see that was like humiliating. It was humiliating, but at the same time, it was like something that I was able to take from. I was learning from it. I didn't feel like I was robbed. I was, you know, I took advantage of the situation for what it was.
So and I'm assuming that, or maybe I shouldn't assume. Let's go with this. In that situation, how did you find out that you were not father, essentially?
I know that sounds so embarrassing, bro, but like, imagine watching Maury. Imagine watching Maury or Jerry Springer with your significant other that's in this predicament with you. And you're making comedic jokes, because you're a comedic person. About not being responsible of the child that you're taking care of.
That's
And then it happens to be what the joke was entailed about.
my question is this, right? How did that situation in high school with said young lady you were speaking about affect you moving forward as a man?
It taught me like how to not like take shit personal. You know, everybody's going through what they're going through individually in their own way. So you can really sit up here and take the next thing that a person's doing personal, or you can focus solely on increasing your self-value.
What's been your biggest hang up, or something that you're like, dang, I can't.
Something that I can't hang up.
Something that happened.
There's something that happened, right, that I really can't hang up. I'll never forget. And I know God does exist, because this has everything to do with God. It has everything to do with timing. It has everything to do with being prepared. It has everything to do with being willing to show up. It has willing to do with everything that pertains to being what you're called to be. And I found this contest online where I seen Terrace Martin, who is a trumpet player, right? Terrace Martin, if you happen to know Terrace Martin, he's a bad motherfucker. He's nothing to fuck with on the trumpet. He's really a dope producer, just a dope arranger, a dope musician. Worked with Kendrick Lamar. He happened to be involved with this situation that Doritos was doing. And I remember Doritos was orchestrated by Terrace Martin's beat. I'm pretty sure there's more to it, but he orchestrated the beat. And the logistics were, they were to choose 5 people to fly to Las Vegas on the behalf of Doritos to compete for $50,000. And I was one of the 4 people. 4 people.
Okay.
Amongst the 4 people. amongst the 4 people that went, and the experience was everything. Like, they treated me exactly how I wanted to be treated as an artist. They had all the drinks in the world. They had the Cliquot. Like, I'm a champagne guy, so I'm a guy that like really thrives off of like really like drinking champagne and shit like that.
Okay.
Like I really just cut the diet out a little bit as of earlier and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like I really been doing my thing with just being on a much more of a healthier path and stuff like that. So I'm just thankful, man. Like I'm really thankful, bro. Like I'm trying to be more like closer to fam and shit like that.
No, of course,
You know
of
what I'm
course.
saying? But,
So the hang up was not being able to get that 50K from Doritos, essentially?
Yeah, so with Doritos, the failure was knowing exactly what to do and what not to do. And what I chose what to do was something that I was not supposed to do. I ended up doing I had a plan to intricately add a acrobatic element to my performance to enhance the chances of getting $50,000.
Gotcha.
And the fact that I called being able to go the last person.
Yeah.
The fact that I was able to go last, I had even more of an opportunity to be even more firm with my decision that I had originally, which was to do the little rap, because the rap was very fast and intricate on some Busta Rhymes shit.
Yeah.
And he happened to be the judge.
Oh, so.
And the major headliner was Khalifa.
Yeah.
And I do, and you
And
they
was
this was in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas,
Nevada.
Okay. You know what year this was by any chance?
This was 2018.
2018.
2018.
So, and you didn't get the 50K, huh?
I didn't get the 50K.
Would you come in?
I came second.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. The homie that actually won it, and shout out to Armani, my boy Armani White. He's killing it right now. He made a record called Billie Eilish. That's really fire. That's really like all over the world. Like it's been syndicated and all kinds of shit. And I've learned that what I did was I did a backflip.
Yeah.
In the performance.
Yeah.
And the whole purpose was to do the backflip at the end. I did the backflip at the beginning. And it took so much of like wind power out of my out of just my entire being to where when I got down to like busting down the rap that I was in Las Vegas to do, that's when I started noticing that I was like losing the breathing pattern of what I was supposed to do. And it was beautiful because I knew that if I didn't win, I knew the reason why. Because I did everything right. I did everything right. But I knew the fact that I did that fucking backflip
Starting off with
in the beginning, it really blew my chances. And it, you know, it in a very unique way, it definitely fucked my head up in a weird, it really did. It really made me feel weird. But at the same time, I learned from it. I learned from that. I had a good conversation with my aunt about it. Like we spoke, and you know, she didn't really like feel bad for me. Like not to say she didn't feel bad, but like the way she delivered it to me, she delivered it to me in a way where it was like, nigga, like you're built for this, bro. Like this is just something to learn from. Like you know better.
Yeah. What place does your aunt play? Because you haven't mentioned her. So what place does your aunt play? You know, obviously you're doing a contest in Las Vegas. So you do the backflip, you do the performance. And your aunt immediately tells you that, or is that at a later point?
That was after I did not win. That was the day after. You know, the day after I was able to like sit on everything over the night, and then I called her the next morning, and then like we was I was just sitting there dwelling a lot. I was definitely dwelling because it was something that it was something that I really took mad personal. And I really felt like that moment was really for me. But I really captured so many moments that only God and myself and those people that were present that know that actually meant something, that really sustained why I was there in the first place. So it really didn't matter if I won or not. I won automatically for being able to be in the same presence as a Wiz Khalifa.
Yeah, of course.
Somebody that I admire, somebody that I honor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As a businessman, as a man, as a creative individual, the fact that I was able to be in the same presence and that it was written.
Oh yeah.
It was written.
Yeah.
Literally, in the itinerary to meet this individual and to actually to just be the best version of myself. I didn't have to be nothing. They paid for everything. I was able to bring my brother with me.
Yeah.
I brought my brother with me. I didn't pay for nothing. They even gave me a credit card to use while I was out there.
Chilling. Big time.
But I didn't win the $50,000, and I was able to say and walk away that the fact that I didn't win $50,000 is why this story of mine makes it even more intriguing.
Gotcha.
So,
what would you say your greatest or biggest moment is till now, right? Because maybe you haven't had your biggest moment, but up to this point in time, right? What would you describe as your biggest moment?
My biggest moment?
Yeah. I want to make sure you make the distinction. If it's a monetary gain, that's fine. Material, spiritual, right? Whatever, whether it's health or well-being for family or providing, whatever it is, right? Whatever aspect it might be in or category, I should say. I'd like you to, outline that and let us know, your biggest success.
I think in the land of the world titled as synchronicity, I would say that one of the best moments of my career was doing a collaboration, at least so far. It was doing a collaboration with Benny the Butcher. And not just because it was with Benny the Butcher, because he's a very great rapper and he's a very chill guy, very good, warm energy and shit, just cool, not really trying to be a hater or nothing like that. He's really cool, you know what I'm saying, about his bread, about his art, about his artistic expression. I remember I was doing a festival. There was this 2-day festival I was doing. Shout out to Jordan, the pharmacist.
Not the ball player.
The pharmacist. The pharmacist threw a Cultivator's Cup in Worcester, Mass.
Yeah.
And in Worcester, Mass, I remember he had a 2-day festival. He had Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Yeah.
And Busta Rhymes.
Yeah. Okay.
And on the second day after that, he had Conway the Machine.
Yeah.
And Benny the Butcher.
Okay.
And pretty much.
And that's how you guys met.
Yeah, exactly. I did the Bone Thugs and Busta Rhymes show. Yeah. And ironically, the song that I wanted to get Busta Rhymes, I had compiled a list of artists that I wanted to work with that year. Yeah. And Benny the Butcher, J.I.D., just to name a few, Busta Rhymes, La Russell, Russ.
Yeah. What year was this when you did you said the Busta Rhymes and
the festival?
Yeah, the festival. Yeah.
This was 2022.
Okay.
Yes.
So 2022, you do
2022,
the festival.
The summer of 2022. I had a show. I had a hosting at Ibiza, and
that show was here in
Providence.
It was in Providence. Okay.
I had a hosting, and my voice was really damaged really damaged. To my liking or to my disliking, it was damaged.
Yeah.
And it wasn't in the shape to do like a hosting where I was like screaming on a microphone.
Gotcha.
Doing any kind of performance or any kind of recording. So when the deal came to the table of like getting on a song with Benny the Butcher after that show in a studio that was relatively close by to where the performance was, it was a toss-up between do I go to Ibiza or do I do the feature with Benny the Butcher?
Yeah.
So obviously,
the feature.
I do the feature.
Of course.
And even he said, which was pretty dope, he was like, yo, you kind of like made the best decision you could have made that night. Everybody thought that he was doing a song with Nas, from what I remember, because there was people that was just like, yo, he's doing a song with Nas. Because they heard the song. I had a song that that was already premeditated, that was already done. I had the intentions of having Busta Rhymes on it. So it's so intentional and like weird, in a weird way, how I do that concert or that festival with Busta Rhymes.
Yeah.
And I didn't get to link with Busta. I was trying to. I didn't get to link with Busta on the behalf of already meeting him at the Dorito situation.
Gotcha.
But also doing the festival.
Gotcha.
And but at the same time, I had a song where I left the verse open for a dynamic artist to come through and deliver on what I had already set up bass and for a canvas.
Benny delivered.
And
right?
Benny delivered.
Wanna see everybody shine, even when it's not mine. You ain't gotta see the vision, that's your problem, not mine.
Talk about that relationship that you may have developed with Benny.
I didn't really like have no starstruck moment or nothing like that.
Yeah.
This was an individual that I had intentions to want to work with when I seen what they were doing on like Shade 45.
Yeah.
When I seen what they was doing on Al Lindstrom, the Shade 45 things that was going on at the time, the Al Lindstrom show or something like that. Maybe I'm saying it wrong, or I think I'm saying it right. But when I heard him on freestyles that were on Shade 45, or whether it was Sway or Funk Master Flex on Hot 97, them shits was resonating with me. And there were just also a handful of names that were also on that list that I felt as if like I would like literally coexist with on a record or in like just in the studio or like in real life. Like, I didn't feel like I had to make better bars because this person was on the record. Like I had a record that was already premeditated for Busta Rhymes. Yeah. But I happened to alter the situation, the audible, to be like, oh, let me put Benny the Butcher on this. And I watched him write the verse and he knocked the shit out the park, literally in like 1.5 take type shit. Like he really did what he did. And like I said, everybody thought that he was doing a feature for Nas, because I remember in the room, motherfuckers was just like, yo, that's for Nas. That's Nas right there. Yeah. That's Nas. Yeah. That's Nas. Yeah. Nah, that's Nas. And I'm just sitting like this. I'm just sitting there like this. Literally. Like this.
You already know. Because you already know.
I was in tears. I was crying. Crying, like to myself. Nobody knew. I had to put my head down a few times. I was crying because I was literally thankful and grateful. Yeah. And my voice was damaged. So even if I was doing a hosting and a walkthrough at some place like Ibiza Lounge, shout out to Ibiza Lounge, I was like going to be hurting, strainingly like on my voice. Yeah. But luckily, I had a song where all Benny had to do was bring the verse home. And he did. And
that video is dope too, man.
Yeah. Shout out to Christina Mackey. Okay. Christina Mackey's on the vocals. Yeah. A very talented singer, businesswoman. Yeah. Different. Yeah, she brought that to a whole different place. We linked in my hometown, knocked the visual out, and just kept moving forward with the whole process.
Yeah.
And
The young lady Christina you're talking about, that's the young lady that's coming down the stairs in the dress, right?
yeah,
Oh yeah, she's unforgettable.
yes, yeah.
Shout out Christina.
Yeah,
On the
Christina
vocals.
Mackey has one
Christina
of a
Mackey.
kind personality
Yeah.
and has something really great going on with herself.
Yeah. No, that's dope. I mean, everything overall, like I said, the visuals were on point. You know, obviously I like music, but I definitely like that song.
Yeah,
Her
Golden
vocals were on
Globes.
point.
Yeah, it was a really good song,
Yeah.
a really good visual. That to answer your question, the visual itself just helped me understand how much goes behind the scenes,
Yeah.
and you know, it's more than just being able to rap with your favorite rapper or rap with your favorite collab with your favorite singer, or doing things with your favorite director or whatever. It's like it's more than that. It's like it's just being prepared, like knowing what you got to do, and you know, if there's any kind of business that has to be involved, like just making
Yeah.
sure that all that's squared away and that you're doing business with people that know what they're doing and know what they're talking about, and that's all.
Yeah. No, that makes perfect sense. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, once if you're trying to do something that's gonna not only last but be good and quality, there's work on the back end that has to be put in. And most people,
Exactly.
that's like, I think the quote is, you get praised, in public for the work you do in private. You know,
Absolutely.
like, so obviously, you know, especially like I said, that song and a lot of your music, honestly. I seen you perform at Troop too. I seen a few things, you know.
Yeah, true.
Seen you do a
Yeah.
couple low key spots around the
A
way,
lot of
but
shows at Troop, like just be like, I feel like Troop's like a home base. Like it
yeah.
reminds me of like the Sandlot.
I know I seen you in Arizona
Mhm.
killing that contest.
Yeah.
Talk about that. Talk about what you was doing out there, what contest it was, you know, what place you was in. I know you killed it because, you know, it came across my timeline and I was like, oh
That's
yeah.
dope.
Oh
That's
yeah,
dope.
my guy's
Organically.
killing it. Yeah, organically too. That's
Respectfully.
yeah.
The contest in Arizona.
Yeah.
Shout out to Matty Ice. Matty Ice is a very dope, hardworking individual out there in Arizona right now. And
Yeah.
between Arizona, Vegas, LA, Chicago, like, you know, the brother's been putting on like some really dope platforms. And I just so happened to come across it because of the whole Bel Air, McQueen, Dion, to Rick Ross, Sarah Showoff, Jess Madison over there at Bumble. I just so happened to see, after getting in touch with Matty Ice, that he was doing a contest for $10,000 to it, which now I'm looking at like no shade at all.
Yeah.
It's now giving me like wild style, like wilding out.
Yeah.
If you had like the better punchline or the better insult or the better delivery, like you kind of like had a better chance of delivering.
So battle rap, street rap.
Yeah, exactly. And I personally thought that it was like you can like prepare to the beats that they gave you if you advance to each round, because they gave you a beat for each round if you advance.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And I advanced all the way to the 4th round. Yeah. So
how many rounds were there?
There were 4 rounds, and then there was the finals.
Finals, yeah. Gotcha.
So I want to say like 4th place is kind of like what I placed.
4th place, okay.
In some weird way.
Yeah.
But
but still all the way from Rhode Island.
I
to
feel
AZ?
like I feel like for me, by the time that I got to that fourth round, I think because I was more like prepared, it was more like I could have been insulting the person that I was battling.
Yeah.
And I could have definitely did that. I just was trying to play it safe. Yeah. And learn from that person, because I literally got past the last 3 people just getting them out of there. Getting them out of there with shit that they couldn't obviously like rap better than. But by that 4th round, they seemed like they was looking for that wild style, wilding out kind of approach. And that's what I did. But at the same time, I felt like by that 4th round, the beat that I chose and the delivery and all that shit, it came down to who was the better rapper. And I feel like I was the better rapper. And they chose the other person because he was actually like rapping about certain things that I was wearing.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh.
That's what we were doing. Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And I respected it. So shout out to Matty Ice, man. He's doing actually the Matty Ice Fest out there in Phoenix right now.
Yeah.
With Baron Davis, the basketball player.
From the Warriors.
The homie Oswin Benjamin. He was in the competition prior to, I'll just say it. And Trop Da Vinci, which is an engineer for Rick Ross.
If I'm a fan of Tye Cooper, what can I expect in 2024?
In 2024, I expect more of an impact, more of a existence, more of a personable connection, and an awareness of self, not just for me, but for yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. I look forward to being more expressive with my creative, artistic expression so that it can help others live up to their calling and their purpose. Yeah. And there's so many ways that that can happen. I've been going through so many different experiences where there has been people that have been like, yo, Tye, you have inspired me. You have brought me to a whole different level of familiarity. You brought me to recognition. And I just want you to know, like, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have did this. And if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have did that. Yeah. So I'm thankful to be in a position where I can be of abundance to others, let alone just to be for myself.
One more thing for you. I see you Lakered out. You came in here 2-4. Yeah. 2024 is a Kobe year.
Super synchronized. I didn't want to come in here without coming here letting it be known that I was like thinking a certain way, and the mentality that I'm on and in right now is a Mamba mentality. I've always loved the Lakers, the franchise, the history of just winners, of just people that win, and like I've always just been a fan of the team and of just the brand, the dynamics of winning and back to back, the work ethic.
Yeah. Of being the best. That's what it takes work. It takes a lot of work to be the best.
I spend a lot of time in the dark writing music where like I don't really be so focused and worried about what's going on in the light, because I know I'm the light. I'm experiencing whatever darkness that I'm within. It's just a matter of actually tapping in and being in a place where I can deliver. And when it's time for me to be in a studio where there's investment on the line or, objective, I'm delivering or I'm over delivering because half of the battle is showing up.
Yeah. Thank you for being on the podcast. Tye Cooper, ladies and gentlemen. Let them know where they can find you at.
You can find me on all digital streaming and social media platforms at The Tye Cooper Show.
Yeah, The Tye Cooper Show. I know you got a merch store too. Come on.
Yeah, get the merch, man. Hit the line, man. Hit the line, man. Hit the Coop line, man. Hit the Coop line. You know what I'm saying? Come hang with Mr. Cooper at tyecooper.com, man. Hey. We got the merch.
tyecooper.com, ladies.
So much more music, so much more visuals, Netflix quality. Ahoy, motherfuckers.
Let them know 2024 is gonna be big.
It's gonna be wavy. So you gotta lock into your Mamba mentality, or else.
Yes, sir. Like I said, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You already know. Just another talk. Make sure you go check out our merch store. You know it's live. I got the merch on. If you fuck with us, go get the merch. If you don't fuck with us, go get the merch anyways, because you're gonna look good in it. So just go get the fucking merch. Right?
Like you might want to look good.
Exactly.
You're gonna look good in anything. Look good in the merch.
Tell them. Like and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen.
Wanna see everybody shine, even when it's not mine. You ain't gotta see the vision. That's your problem, not mine.